We're back. And it's grand finals time. And I think, for the first time in SCS history, we may have both teams using their in-game name that matches the name that they used in the brackets. I think this could be a first. I think we might be setting a record here. Someone's keeping track.
Dire team ban.
Write that down. Call Nahaz. But we've got Firestarter, which we saw in the semifinals. They're on the Radiant side. They're going to be going up against a team we've seen on this stream before. And last time I struggled with the name that I was going to use to call them. You saw me struggle with it at the end of the last game, saying who Firestarter was going to be playing up against. Last time I bailed out and I called them KQ or KQT, but I asked them in the lobby, and I'm probably still going to call them KQ, but I asked them how to pronounce it, and it's KaoQian.Tuji. Now, it's just KaoQian.Tuji is how they told me it. I tried to make it sound a little bit Chinese or whatever, but I may have failed miserably, so I'm sure people are laughing at me. But that's what you're all here for, right? To laugh at me and enjoy some good Dota. But that's who's going to be playing on the Dire side, and these guys aren't drafting slow. You guys are supposed to give me a little bit of time to rest my voice, maybe take a sip of water during the draft, but nope, none of that. We're drafting too quickly here. We've got AA, Wisp, Broodmama, and Earthshaker banned out by the Dire side. Surprisingly, Broodmother actually wasn't banned last game. I was a little surprised by that. But yeah, she's banned out this time around. Doom, Alchemist, Venomancer, Dazzle, banned out by Firestarter. And the picks. Winter Wyvern, Undying, Ember Spirit getting picked up by Dire. We saw two of those heroes last game. Wind Ranger and Gyrocopter, two heroes that we didn't see last game, getting picked up by Firestarter. So they're going completely different. They're picking up that Wind Ranger, which we've seen played so much in, at least in the North American scene, getting played in the mid lane. It's becoming one of the big mid heroes. But when you look at some of the other regions, not the case. So it's a kind of an NA specific hero, so that's kind of cool to see coming out from us. Yeah, so we've got a little bit of buffering in the stream. Apparently, I have no drop frames, so I believe it's all on your end. So sorry guys, I hate doing that mid-cast, but yeah, someone's having issues. I believe shouldn't be me. I have no drop frames. Everything seems to be going good on my end, so unfortunately, if it is buffering, I think that's it's on your end. I've had issues with Twitch in the past with constant buffering, but thankfully that's all been resolved, so I don't have that anymore. That's when I was watching streams, not for people watching my stream. But that seemed to always happen with streams that don't have encoding. They'll have enough viewers to have the quality slider. So maybe you're kind of experiencing the same kind of hiccups that I was experiencing before. We've got a Lich added on for Firestarter, and Clockwork is going to be the offlaner of choice for KQ.
5 seconds remaining.
So we've got Ember once again. Don't know where he's going, mid or safe lane. We've got Winter Wyvern and Undying look like they're going to be the two supports. I don't really like Undying and Clockwork in the same lane, so we may not see a dual lane, but we could. I guess you could leave Undying top and put Winter Wyvern with Clockwork. I don't know. We're going to see how they're going to adapt to that. I think they'll probably just leave Clockwork in the off lane by himself. It's Dire side Clockwork. It's easy peasy lane for Clock. He just cogs blocks and brings the creep wave back to his tower, and he gets a bunch of XP there. But one of their lanes is going to be going up against Lich, which is hella annoying. And I think we're potentially seeing Lich coming back. He's been getting picked up a little bit recently. I'm not sure exactly what the pick rate is. This is where I need a stats man. I need to be able to bring up Dat Dota and look up these stats for you. But who are they going to add on to this I mean, they could choose... I imagine Gyro is going to be safe lane. Wind Ranger is going to be mid. Lich is going to be support. He could be off lane.
Dire team
But yeah, I knew they were going to pick up on our support. So it's going to be Silencer getting that global. Global actually quite strong against this Dire side roster. And it is, of course, strong against the Ember Spirit. If you can make sure that he's not going to be able to jump back to his Remnant, that's fantastic. It's also good counter.
5 seconds remaining.
A good strong counter to when Winter's Curse comes out. Also when the Tombstone comes out. It's a good counter to when Clockwork jumps on in, because you know his team's most likely going to be following up. So that's a good time to use your Global Silence. It's a strong hero against them. I expect Ember to probably pick up something, maybe like a Manta, to be able to just jump at it at Manta out of the Global and jump back to a Remnant, so he's not too vulnerable to a Global.
Team ban.
But got our last bands coming through here.
Team
Spectre's going to be removed, and TA going to get removed. So they don't want the TA going up against the Wind Ranger. No, we still have Queen of Pain. I'm not sure if I really like Queen of Pain going up against the Silencer.
Ten seconds remaining.
Shadow Fiend's still in the pool. Not sure I like it here either.
5 seconds remaining.
Although we did see Shadow Fiend and Ember on the same team last game, but I don't
Reserve time.
know if I like Shadow Fiend here. I really don't. It's hard because I don't know these players well enough to know these players and these teams well enough to know what their tendencies are going to be as well. Some teams, I mean, I think back to when I was playing, we put so much emphasis on Shadow Fiend that we said, you know what, like, even if it's not 100% a great lane for Shadow Fiend and maybe there's a better pick, we'll still pick the Shadow Fiend because we're so used to playing with the Shadow Fiend and so accustomed to playing with the Shadow Fiend and how to play around it, and we were very comfortable with it. So sometimes, like, you may think one hero's fantastic in the situation and teams will actually not pick it because they'll go after something else. But part of that comes with versatility as well. As you get more experience as a player, certainly more experience as a team, you open up your possibilities and a lot of different combinations you become more and more comfortable playing with. Certainly these players are all really high skill players, so they can pretty much play 99% of the heroes in the pool. And we're not contesting that, but when you put all those heroes together, of course, these five players are going to be used to playing a specific way together, and they're going to be playing certain things more than others because it tends to their strengths. So of course they're going to be even stronger at playing that. But Bloodseeker was the pick. Bloodseeker, a hero that isn't really going to get harassed out of lane by the Wind Ranger.
10 seconds
He's going to be able to deal with that that harass, but also
5 seconds remaining.
he could find some easy kills on the Lich and the Silencer, and there's going to pick up an Axe. So what we actually may see is a little bit more of a greedy setup. We're going to have the Wind Ranger in the mid lane, Gyrocopter safe lane. Silencer is going to be babysitting the Gyrocopter, and we might have the dual off lane of Lich Axe, and we may even see Axe just abandon that lane, go in the jungle, and just leave the Lich up there. So that's a very real possibility for them. As for KQ, it looks like, well, we got the Clockwork in the off lane, Bloodseeker in the mid lane, Ember Spirits farming in the safe lane. Winter Wyvern and Undying are going to be the two supports. Where they're going to be sitting, I think they're probably both going to stay up in the top lane, but we'll see. But either way, we're into the grand finals here. We're into the game, and let's introduce the teams and the players. It is going to be a best of one, so winner takes all here. We don't have any money on the line. It's just $0 for the winner of this, but it is bragging rights, and, well, if you've been around NA Dota long enough, you know that that's all that really matters. For our Radiant side, we saw them last game. It is going to be Firestarter. We've got Dora playing the Lich. ABC 123 is going to be playing the Silencer. We've got Meg, who did work early game on the Phoenix last game. He's going to be playing the Axe. We've got Klars on the Gyrocopter, standout performance on the Slark last game as well. Amy, which I mean, mid lane was a little bit of a wash, but Amy certainly did well. Had a little bit of misplays last game with using herself a few times, but they're going to be taking up the Wind Ranger this time around. For our dire side heroes, the new guys to the stream tonight at least. We've seen them before, but it's KQT or KaoQian.Tuji as they told me. So I don't know if I'm making myself sound like an idiot or not. I don't think so. I think that's exactly how to pronounce it. But either way, let's introduce them. We've got YSH playing the Undying. We've got 77 or 77 playing the Clockwork. HY is going to be playing the Ember Spirit. Owen is going to be on the Bloodseeker. And Tuboshu1222 is going to be playing the Winter Wyvern. So we've got Bounty Rune going to each team, and not surprisingly, it's both mid-heroes. Actually, not both mid-heroes. It's a Winter Wind Ranger picking up one, and it actually is both mid-heroes. So they're going to put the Ember Spirit mid against the Wind Ranger. So it is both mid-heroes picking up those Bounty Runes, as they're going to be putting the Bounty Hunter, what am I saying? The Bloodseeker up in the top lane, as I'm tripping over my words to start this game off. But let's take a quick look at our lane setup. We've got Clockwork down here going up against a Gyrocopter. The two supports are kind of making their way down there, but Gyrocopter should be able to do okay in that lane. If he gets a little bit of an advantage, he should be able to easily take over that lane. But mid lane is going to be Wind Ranger going up against the Ember, as we already previously mentioned. Axe is going to be left up here on his own, going up against the Bloodseeker, the Undying, and all the way back here, messing around by the pull is going to be the Winter Wyvern. Meg taking some damage. This is going to be a tough lane for the Axe, and I'm really surprised that they didn't have the Lich up there to start things off. And he made that rotation down to the bottom, but now he's heading right back up there. So they will have this dual lane, bring the Lich up here. And if they do deem that, you know, Axe is just not getting what they were hoping the Axe would get, and maybe they want to get a little bit more out of him, they'll just rotate him, throw him back to the jungle, just leave the Lich up here. Lich will be able to manage the creep wave, bring it back towards his tower using Sacrifice, and that'll allow him to get a little bit of farm, a little bit of XP, but more importantly, it'll be able to deny some of that from the opponents. There was a time, was it maybe 4 or 5 patches ago, where we used to see Lich played kind of as a support in the offlane in this kind of dual lane setup, and it was mainly just for this reason: sacrifice, deny a bunch of XP from your opponent, bring the lane back, get a little bit more for your offlaners. Dora's going to go down here for first blood. It's just so much slow coming up from the Winter Wyvern, and Undying able to finish it off with the decay. But it was that ability to bring back the creep wave, and really nothing has changed on Lich. They changed the sacrifice so you can sacrifice in someone's face, and they don't get the XP for it. But typically before, you just back in the lane, go to your creep wave when it was here, sacrifice it, and it did exactly the same thing. So it's really not a change. It's kind of a quality of life change for the Lich player, more so than anything. But first blood was spilled, and it goes the way of KQT. As it looks like Ember's struggling a little bit in the middle lane. These early levels, Amy's managing to get a slight advantage there over HY. Amy's sitting at 12 and 5 CS, whereas HY is at 7 and 3. So it's not a huge discrepancy just yet, but it is a slight advantage. As for our bottom lane, looks like Clar's doing quite well. He's up to 13 and 5 CS, whereas in the top lane, Owen has only managed 11 and 3. As once again the Axe goes down, and I really think they're just going to have to rotate this Axe out of this top lane. He's not going to be able to get enough done, and Axe is one of these heroes that you just don't want to fall behind in. If you fall behind in an Axe, you don't have the ability to just jump in, get those taunts off, and really be that big beefy body that you expect out of an Axe. As HY and Amy exchanging a little bit of damage here, and it's going to force a TP out from the Axe, but it's not going to help, as HY does get the kill, but Mag there with the taunt gets the taunt off on HY while he's under tower, so that's going to allow them to get the kill, as we've got both supports actually going back to Fountain. One, the Undying needs HP and mana. The Winter Wyvern really needs mana. He's got no way of getting his mana back up, so they're going to walk all the way back to get that back up, and that's going to leave the Lich up here, and we're going to see what's going to happen with this Axe as the Wind Ranger TP's back in. And where are you going to go, Axe? Are you going to go back up top? Or are you going to go jungle? Mag, undecided right now. 77's found himself in a little bit of a precarious situation, but he'll just take a different route back to his bottom tier 1 tower as he just makes his way through the Radiant Jungle. This double damage from ABC. Pretty scary for the Clockwork as we got more action in the mid lane as HY was trying to go on Amy there, but Mag's there once again. This time gets to taunt off. And are we going to see Ember go down again? Bolas is going to trap Mag, but Amy's there with the power shot and they're going to get the kill. Those supports, after getting their mana and their regen, end up going in the bottom lane and they're going to drop ABC. So a kill goes the way of the Dire side as they kill off the silencer there. And I imagine they're going to rotate away, let 77 get a little bit more solo XP. But Mag looks like he's going to be doing a little bit of jungling. But he needs to be careful as HP was low enough that the Bloodseeker could see him there.
Dire's middle tower.
No one's going to be there to follow up. Dora in the top lane, going to get dove by Owen, and this is... Ooh. This is one of the issues, that Dora's going to be very diveable early on. Now that this Bloodseeker's off to such a great start. If he's going to get 6, then the Lich can't be up here anymore. But the whole idea of kind of just rotating the Mag away, throwing him in the jungle, getting him a little bit more farm, and just leaving Dora up here is that Dora's going to be getting some good XP on the Lich, but also going to be able to continually sacrifice. And if you get more levels on the Lich, that means you can get more levels into the sacrifice. He's actually elected to put 1 point into the ice armor and just left sacrifice at 1. There's a lot of different school of thought on sacrifice and how you skill that hero. The old style used to be you'd put 2 points into it early on, 36 seconds, and that allowed you to work with the creep wave a little bit better. We're going to have a taunt in the top lane as they're going to manage to lock down Owen there. Blood right did hit on Mag, but Dora sidestepped it, and oh, maybe they've gone a little bit too far as YSH comes in, drops the tombstone. They're going to try to chase down, but they don't have enough to finish him off there. Mag steps up, gets a nice taunt on the two heroes with the creep wave, but with the Winter Wyvern there, it's going to prove to not be a good decision as Mag getting very low. He will get right-clicked down by the Winter Wyvern. Another kill going the way of KT. Call down coming out from Klars. It won't unfortunately land as Owen's just a little bit too fast on that Bloodseeker. And Klars, I mean, he's going the whole way here. He was thinking about even diving that tier 1 tower. But finally he'll think better of it and back away. Klars, I mean, he's kind of been left alone in the bottom lane. And the Bloodseeker's been doing a little bit more aggressive stuff, trying to get a kill on this Lich. But Klars managed to get a little bit of a distance between him and Bloodseeker in terms of CS. 35 and 10 for the Gyrocopter, whereas we're looking at 29 or 31 and 7 as he gets a couple neutrals there. So a slight advantage there going the way of the Gyrocopter. Take a look at mid. Obviously, this Ember Spirit's died twice. The Wind Ranger's only died once. But there is a little bit of a last hit advantage. It's 31 and 8 on the Wind Ranger versus 25 and 6 on the Ember. And ooh, Amy only getting one of those. I was expecting that to go up to 33, but only going up to 32, missing one of the last hits under tower there. As for our offlaners, you have to say Clock. He's been doing quite well. He's up to level 6. He hasn't died yet. He's managed 21 last hits. I mean, he's found the space, he's found the farm. As I miss a very important kill in the mid lane. As Mag manages to drop HY once again. He's been all over this Ember Spirit early on. But going back to the point I was making about the Clock. He's got 22 last hits. If you give Clockwork XP and gold early on, he just becomes a whole nother hero. If he starts snowballing it, he becomes really, really scary. And he's certainly done much better than the off lane from Firestarter. Although, I mean, Mag, he has died twice, but he's managed to help get kills in the mid lane. And so he's made himself a lot more useful, I guess, early on. We'll have to see how it's going to... whether it's going to assist or hinder his kind of transition going out of this game. Is YSH going to go for some action here in the bottom? As we've already lost the Clockwork, they're going to find a return kill on the Silencer. Will they be able to catch Klars? I don't think they've got any way to do so. They do still have Bolas up, so they could have Remnant and Bolased him, but going to choose not to. Do they have enough mana for all that? No, they didn't actually. What do I know? I'm not an Ember Spirit player. HY clearly much better at Ember than I am, so... They do find a return kill, but it's not going to be exactly what they were looking for. They want that kill on the very, very valuable gyrocopter right now. The pings are coming out. They're thinking about the Wind Ranger as their next target. Boot 2 supports is waiting up here on the high ground. Amy going to back away. Bunch of circles getting drawn on the mini-map. Amy knows. They're all in there. Scary stuff. So let's see how it all shakes down as we look at net worth, and we don't have time for that as 77's going to jump on it with the hook shot on Amy. HY is going to jump in as well, and this is going to be a dead Wind Ranger, or is it? Magic Stick. So much HP as the Chain Frost bouncing between the two of them. Neither of them are going to fall, but it looks like 77's going to get finished off with some auto attacks. Will it be enough? It will be. Nice placement from the cogs there to push them back. He had to wait for the cooldown on that and everything, and 77 is going to escape. The Silencer will TP away as well, but oh my goodness. They managed to drop the Wind Ranger, and I honestly thought the clock was dead there. I thought he was dead, but he made the play and he made it work. Mag's already up to 1,800 gold. He's found some gold on this axe. I expected him to be a little bit further behind right now, but he's going to have a pretty alright blink timing right now. Of course, the earlier you get it, the better, and he'd love to have it earlier, but I'm sure with 2 deaths in the game already, he'll be more than happy with this blink timing. He's actually going to have to TP on out from here anyways, but they've got enough damage to bring him down before he's even able to TP out. Wow. Have to check and see if he got the Berserker's call off there. He didn't. Well, we lose our axe, and on the back of that, looks like KT, they're just going to look to bring down this top tier 1 tower, at least put some pressure on it. Dora's still sitting up here. Chain Frost is going to be up in 30 seconds. Doesn't quite have the mana yet, but Sacrifice will be up a little bit before then. Ping's coming out in the bottom lane as Klars and 77 going at it, but YSH has just TP'd down here. And will 77 be able to lock him down? He won't. Global Silence getting used there to save the gyrocopter. Without that, was definitely looking like it was going to be a dead gyrocopter, so good use of the Global Silence there. Because I guess now we can spare the time to take a look at our net worth. Our leader is Klars on the gyrocopter, 4,700 net worth to his name. Second is going to be up in the top lane. It's going to be the other safe lane to farm. It's the Bloodseeker, Owen, 4,300. Then, I mean, we don't have much difference between these two heroes still. 3,900 for the Ember Spirit and 3,900 for the Wind Ranger. They're pretty much dead even. Then, surprisingly, it's the Axe. Mag has managed to find this farm. He's out farming the Clockwork. What's surprising is actually in the bottom lane is they've managed to find Klars. They've jumped on him. YSH getting very low, getting hit from both of those hits from the call down, but it was enough to keep him alive. Or he had enough HP with the decay to keep him alive. And the Silencer just wasn't there in time, so they will find that kill on that very, very valuable target, the gyrocopter. HY is considering going on Amy here, but he's going to get shackled to a creep. Mag is so close. He does have his blink. It just got delivered on the courier. Now they're going to go, but they'll jump back to the Remnant. HY quick with the fingers there. See, Winter Wyvern has picked up his Soul Ring. So it looks like he's going to be going for that Soul Ring Tranquil Boots build that I was expecting we were going to see last game, but we didn't. We saw a little bit of a different build. Owen maybe might have to be a little bit careful here as they're going to run in, but they're running right through, as I hit the wrong button, but they ran right through this Observer Ward, so they had vision of it, and it's going to expire in 30 seconds. So Owen getting saved by that Observer Ward, of course. Maybe he wouldn't have been playing the same if he didn't have that Observer Ward there. Who's that? Oh no, having issues with Reborn here. I keep scrolling off the side of my screen. But we're going to have action in the bottom lane. We're going to have to just deal with it. It's Klars and 77 going at it once again. And this time, Klars going to lose out again. But he might be able to get the kill on to 77. But I think KT will definitely accept that trade. Clockwork for the gyrocopter, no problem. But this one's not over. Shackle Shot will land. They will find the kill on the Undying. So it's going to be both heroes. The Undying and the Clockwork for gyrocopter. Still, I think, alright, Mag, gonna blink forward, get the taunt off onto HY, but there's no follow-up damage, so HY will jump back to another Remnant, and he only goes down to about half HP.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
First tower of the game
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
will go down. It's gonna be the top tier 1 going in favor of the Dire side. The Bloodseeker getting the gold there. So we'll take a quick look at who's got what. Boots of Travels just getting finished on the Ember Spirit. We're also going to have a Hand of Midas getting picked up by the Bloodseeker. Beyond that, looks like Clockwork going with the Blade Mail. YSH, he's got a headdress. He's got another Iron Branch. Looks like that's going to be the makings of a mech. Winter Wyvern, like I said, picked up that Soul Ring. And that's going to cover pretty much everyone on the Dire side. We'll take a quick look at our Radiant side now as well. Lich gone with the Tranquils. Meg, we saw him pick up his Blink Dagger. He's got Tranquils as well. We've got Phase Boot and Helm of the Dama. Phase Boot's pretty uncommon for gyrocopters to pick it up. Typically they're going to go with the Treads, but going to go with the Phase Boots this game, Klars. Maybe so that he's able to escape the clock early. I'm not really sure why he chose to go with those. But either way, he's got his Phase Boots. And he's also got a Belt of Strength, so probably going to go for the S and Y build. Beyond that, who do we got left? We got Amy on the Wind Ranger. And what does she have? She's got half of an Aghanim Scepter, just using the Soul Booster on her hero. Besides that, we've got Phase Boots, Bottle, Stick, all the usual. Oh, HY comes into the creep wave and immediately he gets blink taunted from Mag. Global Silence is going to follow them up here. And that's going to be a dead Ember Spirit. We did have some TP support coming in. Global Silence is worn off. Winter's Curse got used on Mag. I think he'll be able to escape. ABC is going to go down. The Chain Frost was jumping around, but good splitting coming out from KT.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
As they just lose their Ember, but manage to get that retaliation and dropping 2 heroes on the side of Firestarter, despite the fact that they used the Global Silence to potentially assist themselves in getting the kill and getting out. But as soon as that global wore off, KT was there. Winter's Curse was used on the axe. That managed to lock him down long enough for them to get the kill on Mag. We didn't see it, but he went up this way. And they got the kill on him somewhere up here. Not exactly sure where or who finished him off. We were too busy looking down here at the Chain Frost bouncing around and all that. But really good splitting. With all those heroes so bunched up that the Chain Frost didn't bounce around and do more. It was the Undying who managed to step away and let that Chain Frost end. But another taunt coming out here from Mag as HY got very low and he was in chop range. Mag went for the chop, but the stick was there coming out from HY to get his HP just up high enough above the threshold. So Mag does take a fall. Now 77. He wants more blood as he's going to hookshot forward. He's going to find Dora, traps him in the cogs. They're going to finish him off. ABC is the next target as the 4 heroes on the Dire side are in hot pursuit. It's actually 5 as HY comes in as well, and they're going to find another kill. 3 heroes going down there. Fight recap. You're useless to us. You're just too useless to us. Show us the whole fight, not 2 kills and then 1 kill. It makes it too difficult. But either way, we know it's an advantage to the Dire side as well. They got 3 kills and they didn't lose anyone, so definite advantage to them. Klars in the meantime saying, "Know what, you guys are fighting up there, I'm just going to drop your tier 1 tower." So he drops a tower. It's the first tower down for his team. As we still just have the offlane tier 1s down. Lots of pings coming out. So pings have come out, so they know from the Dire side, they know that this Observer Ward is here for the Radiant side. They actually have a Sentry Ward that even spots it out, but someone's got to go and actually destroy it. It looks like they're going to make that rotation down right now as they're going to smoke and head down here. Maybe Maybe they're doing this because they know the Radiant mill and they want to go protect. I don't know. They're trying to play around the fact that Firestarters has vision here. I'm hoping that they're going to walk into them with the smoke tank, but it's not going to happen.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
As everyone on the side of Firestarters point is very, very safe now, so they knew something's up. But with 77 showing, and I think YSH just showed there as well. They're not as scared. Could be an urn getting picked up by 77. That's a little unusual for a Clockwork. Typically don't see that item getting picked up. HY going to be going for his Battle Fury as expected. We're going to have a Ring of Regen getting picked up by the Axe, so maybe 4 staff. It's going to be his next. Klars picked up the Sange. He's got a Yasha recipe as well, so the S and Y, and I didn't even see Wind Ranger down there. I was like, why are all these heroes going down there? I should have looked, but my bad, guys. Missing a kill. We do have an urn on the Lich. And ABC. He's got a Ring of Regen. That could be a lot of things. It could just be Tranquils. It could be Mech. Mech's going to be a long ways out for him. Could be 4 staff. All items that typically get picked up by Silencer. Tranquil's probably the least picked up out of those 3 items for Silencer. We're going to have a BKB flying on in to the bottom lane for Owen on the Bloodseeker.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like Winter Wyvern's got his blink real soon, sitting at 2,200 gold, just 50 more to go. 77 finishes Blade Mail. And there's an item pickup coming out for the Radiant side as Wind Ranger finishes her Aghanim Scepter, so she's going to have that available to her. So give them a little bit more strength. The S and Y was also finished by Klars. I want to look at the gold graph right now, but I knew action was brewing. It was going to potentially be coming out here as Mag. There's a lot of HP. I don't think they're going to have enough to finish him off. They're going to use the Global Silence. I don't know if that was necessary, but YSH getting dropped quite low. They got froze up by Tubo, and they just throw in the Chain Frost. And Clark's gotten pretty deep there. He did have he got hookshotted there by 77. Now the Bloodright won't trap him, and oh, nice shackle shot trapping Owen, and that's actually helping Clark's escape there. And now they're going to try to right-click him down. He was immune to physical there for a bit, but I don't know who. I guess this would have been the gyrocopter using the Centaur there to even stomp Owen there, making sure he's not able to go anywhere, stunning him up with the neutral creep controlled by the Helm of the Dominator. So good play all around there. But now we'll take a look at our gold graph. Actually, we'll wait about 20 seconds, wait for it to update before we take a quick look at where exactly we stand in this game. And I imagine it is going to be Dire side favored, but after that last engagement, it may have swayed a little bit back for the Radiant side, and yep, that's exactly what happened. Back to about 1,000 gold in favor of the Dire here, as Mag's going to look to put some more pressure onto the Ember Spirit. He's making sure that HY doesn't feel safe to farm. He's always jumping in there, he's always getting the taunt off, he's always locking down that hero. And just making it difficult for him. You never want to make it easy for your opponent. But we didn't look at the XP. The XP is actually in favor of the Radiant side, 2,000. A lot of that's going to be attributed to the sacrifice on the Lich. It's something that definitely goes underestimated, how much that the effect that sacrifice can have. Blink Dagger getting picked up by the Wind Ranger.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
Am I crazy, or wasn't this Undying building a mech? He had a headdress and stuff, right? Where did it go? Oh, it's on the courier. Okay. Okay, I'm not crazy. He's got the headdress and the buckler on the courier already, so mech almost getting finished by him. We also have a headdress getting picked up by the Lich, so maybe he's going to be going for the mech for this Radiant side. Still Silencer not showing. You can read into his gold, 900 gold right now. Probably going to be for Staff of Wizardry. So this is most likely looking like it's going to be a 4-staff for him. How's Mag looking? He's got his 4-staff up to another 750 gold. I'm guessing Blade Mail is probably going to be next for him. We've got an Ogre Club getting picked up by Clar, so BKB is going to be on the way. Pretty passive right now coming out from both teams. Battle Fury getting finished by the Ember Spirit. Well, both teams are getting kind of close to items, I guess. Or at least they want their next set of items. So they're just perfectly fine with sitting back and farming. They don't know that the Undying's up here. But that would be a pretty easy kill for them.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Looks like this bottom tier 1's just going to go for free. HY is going to gladly accept that gold. Oh, Undying.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
YSH. Living life on the edge. He does have this observer ward, so he knows what they're doing, but they don't know that he's in there. But still, scary, scary stuff. And Amy, well, they're going to open up. They use the decay. Winter's Curse is going to be used. Hookshot going to come out as well. And they go to trap in the cogs. But Mag, with the 4-staff, pushes Amy out. Good play there coming out from those two heroes. That was a lot of stuff used from the Dire side. They use the Winter's Curse. It's not a short cooldown, 90 seconds before that's going to be back up. Would have gotten the Hookshot, another 35 before that's back up as well. It is level 2, so it's a little bit shorter of a cooldown. But still, they managed to sit up there farming. That's, I mean, it took some TPs for those heroes to get there.
Middle tower is under attack.
On top of that, that's time wasted. That's time that those heroes could have been farming. And they weren't, because they were setting up that gank. And meanwhile, the Wind Ranger and the Axe were farming, so they get away, and good on them. Still only have this one bottom tier 1 tower taken from the Radiant side. Mid still standing, 529 HP, top at 810. Whereas the Dire side, they've managed to drop all of the tier 1 towers in every lane. They haven't really done much to the tier 2s. The mid one, or the top one's probably taking the biggest beating. 789 HP, 1600 on both the mid and the bottom. Amy has landed a shackle on the Ember. Now HY is going to go after Amy, but he's already used the chains, so he'll jump away, and Global Silence came out there. I don't know. I guess that was to protect Amy. Obviously, they thought something else was going to happen. Maybe they thought there was going to be more follow-up. Maybe the Silencer was just reaction, didn't realize that the Searing Change had been used and there was no interrupt. But Global Silence now not available, and immediately KT says Global Silence is not on, or not up. They can't fight right now. Let's just take a free Roche. And, well, they knew. They wasted Global Silence. They immediately say, okay, let's just run up here, take the tier 1 tower, because they're going to go for Roche. And that was a mistake that we made, and now we have got to live with it. And Roche is actually going to get a kill there on the Winter Wyvern, as he just got bashed. Oh, I feel for you. I feel for you. That's rough.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So it is the trade. We lose the top tier 1 tower. But Roche. I guess it's a top tier 1 tower and a kill in exchange for Roche and Aegis, although Radiant side doesn't get any gold for that. But I guess that moves Roche closer and closer to his next item. As Winter Wyvern loses a little bit of gold for that, but it's not the biggest deal.
Is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
This is good from Firestarters. They realize that there's just gold on the map.
Dire's middle tower
3 gold for the taking in these tier 1 towers. They just have to make some good rotations, and they can easily drop them and, well, get that tier 1 tower gold. And they just did that. They got the top one, made a rotation to mid, and surprisingly, there was no one on the Dire side willing to defend that. So, 3 gold for the Radiant side, as now Dora's going to get caught making a rotation from mid towards his jungle. But Amy, oh my goodness, blinks on in, gets a shackle shot, and saves Dora. Now Amy and Klars in the middle of this. Global Silence back on up. That's going to allow them to get the kill on the Ember Spirit. He'll be back up in just a second, though, thanks to an Aegis of the Immortal. Owen came running on in, finished off the Lich. Bloodright not going to land on that Silencer. Mag jumping on in, going to get a taunt off. It's actually just going to land on HY. Owen was very, very close to that, but didn't manage to catch him either. Klars has popped his BKB. He's off to the side fighting 77, who is pretty low, but Klars, his BKB ends, and then he gets double pushed from the Cogs, and he's just not able to finish off 77, who does then get hit by a power shot, dropping him down to 40 HP, but he'll be okay, and he'll be able to walk away. HY jumps back up to the top lane, getting a little bit more farm, as he's starting to jump all over the map, and, well, starting to get that farm going. Here we go. He's got a Yasha, so this is going to be building into the Manta that I mentioned. I think I mentioned in the draft, dealing with the Global Silence. So he's going to need that Manta to be able to Manta out of the Global Silence and then still be able to do his normal Ember Spirity stuff.
Radiant's bottom
Chrysalis was
tower
picked
is
up
under
by the
attack.
Wind Ranger, who once again blinks on in, gets a shackle shot off on HY. And, wow, makes quick work of that Ember. That's something Manta's not going to save him from.
Don't mind if I do.
I was just about to say, we haven't seen Owen really having a huge impact on this game, but I take a look at his score, he's 7-1-2. He has. I feel like all the other heroes have been doing a lot more in terms of starting fights and just being there, and Owen, I guess he's just kind of popping in, getting those kind of cleanup kills to finish everything off. Which is, I guess, what a Bloodseeker should be doing, so... He's doing the right stuff. I'm just not doing a good enough job of...
Invisibility!
Well, giving him the credit he deserves. As we're not going to have a Blade Mail coming out from Meg. He's going to be going for an Aghanim Scepter, which is almost finished. Amy, once again, latches. Global Silence is going to come out here. Winter's Curse was used already. And this is going to be a kill on the Clockwork. Looks like they're not going to be able to find any more. As, ooh, Mag blinks forward. He actually had Taunt available, but it would have been maybe a little bit iffy. Bloodright's going to come out. It's going to separate them. Mag getting completely separated from his team thanks to that Bloodright. And that's going to give them a kill on the Axe. HY, he's not done. Jumping forward. He's got his team backing him up. They get ABC quite low. He's forced to stop because of the rupture, and Owen's going to try to chase down Dora. What? Not going to dive too deep. Amy was off to the side waiting for another shackle shot. Been on point with these shackles so far this game. No one had to know that he was going to get shackled to either a tree or to a teammate if he tried to keep going after that Lich. So 32 minutes into this game, 20-14 our kill total for KT as we're in the grand finals of SCS. And what did I say about Amy? Throw shackle, last shackle. I guess it doesn't have the same ring as Arrow, but it's close enough. And as Klars now in a little bit of a man fight here with HY, and HY just kind of chickening out. He's going to jump away, and rightfully so. He would have died there. As we got an AC getting picked up by the Bloodseekers. We'll bring up our gold, or not our gold, our items to see what everyone's got. We've got a mech almost finished by the Lich. We've got 4 staff picked up by the Silencer. He's got a Void Stone as well. That could be a lot of things for him. We're not going to speculate on what those could be just yet. We've got, did he finish? Yeah, he's finished the Aghanim Scepter. It's got to all be on the Courier, which I can't select because... No, he doesn't. He's still missing the Blade of Alacrity. So Mag did get set back quite a bit from that fight. I guess all that gold was unreliable. So we lost a lot in that last fight. So he's got a little bit of a ways to go before he's able to finish that Aghanims. Just about another minute or so of farming. Klars, we saw him pop the BKB, which is down to 8 seconds now. He's also picked up a Demon Edge. So MKB, I'm assuming. As that's pretty much going to wrap it up for our Radiant side. Dire side, we'll start with YSH, who, yes, he was building that mech. He did finish it, and he's since added on a Glimmer Cape, so looking fabulous as the zombie on the for YSH. Tubo, he's got his blink, he's got his soul ring, and what is this? It's going to be a Yules he's going to be picking up as his next item. Still rocking brown boots, not electing to upgrade to the Tranquils just yet. As the smoke is actually going to find a kill? Maybe? No. 77 runs into Amy, and Amy juking and jiving after the blink away, but 77 is there, landing the hook shot. But Amy's actually going to get the kill there. 77 will be the first one to go down. Amy's so low, it's hit with the urn, but she will be able to escape. How? This Wind Ranger, I don't understand. Meg jumps in, sacrifices himself for the greater good of the team. He'll go down on the axe. So it is a 1-for-1 trade. But how the heck did Amy live? That, Dota, you're playing with my emotions. 77, we saw him go down there. He's got half of an Aghanim Scepter to go with his Blade Mill and his Tranquils. HY, Battle Fury, Manta now finished. Boots of Travel up to 1900 gold, so interesting to see what his next item will be. Probably crit. So I expect maybe Chrysalis going to be coming out for him. Owen, BKB down to 6 seconds now. He's been using that quite a bit. He's been using his Midas quite a bit as well, as he's just finished an AC right before they smoked. That's going to pretty much wrap it up for our Dire side. Since we started covering that, Dora was able to finish the mech on the Lich. And that should bring us all back up to speed as well. Maggie's just making it difficult. Aghanim Scepter is going to get finished by the axe. So now we're up to speed on who's got what and where. As, well, 77 and Amy are at it once again. Amy trying to run away. May just turn around and just make quick work of his clockwork with the Daedalus. And yep, there he goes. HY is there. YSH is there. Tubo blinks on in, and they will finally get Amy. This time, not able to escape. As Chain Frost flying on in, and it's bouncing all over the place. Tubo's going to go down. But Clark's went down there as well. I thought he was actually going to be okay for a bit. And yeah, then the damage was just too much. Owen now will go down as well. And they might even find another kill here on the Undying, who does use the Glimmer. Tries to TP away, but Mag's there with the taunt. They knew what was going on, as they're going to make sure that they cancel that. Taunt him right on out of the TP. And when it's all said and done, the Dire side, they lose 4 heroes. It costs a buyback on Amy. And so they lose 2 in a buyback. So it's slight gold change. And it does go, in the end, about 200 gold in favor of the Radiant side.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
well,
attack.
Doesn't this graph just tell the story? KT had moments of brilliance. Firestarter had moments of brilliance, and right now we're locked dead even. 0 gold separating either of these two teams. XP, well, that just ruins the story. Let's not look at that. Radiant had about 4,000 XP. Let's forget about that. It ruins the story. The setting I was just setting up there, but we're gonna have 77 go down, as these two heroes, these two players have just been on top of each other all game long. Wind Ranger and Clockwork, battle of the century here. Amy wins this round. We're going to have a smoke. MVP Centaur. Was Centaur in there getting a stun off? If it was, I missed it. But we've already seen the Centaur land a few stuns this game. I don't know if it's Klars. I don't know if it's Dora maybe controlling the Centaur, which is sometimes what we see. I mean, that happens a lot. The hard carry will get a home with the Dominator, but he'll share control with the support, and they'll be doing the stacking and stuff. So it could very well be Dora controlling it. But either way, whoever is controlling it, they've been doing a pretty damn good job. Mag gonna go down here. Just can't get away. Too much slow, too much chase. As the axe goes down. 38 minutes, 21-24. Teams locked dead even. Grand Finals SCS. Not bad. Not bad so far. Good game. Good game to close out the night, that's for sure. Invisibility. Well, it's not going to be Chrysalis. It's going to go with an Ultimate Orb with HY. And he's going to be getting into this bottle here in a second, as I imagine he's going to be getting the Aegis when they drop Roshan here. It doesn't look like anyone on the side of the Radiant's going to be coming. They have no idea of anything going around Roshan. Well, Dire, they actually don't know anything that's going around with the enemies either, but they are safe. And Rosh is going to go down here.
Roshan has
Follow
fallen
the drop.
to the
We
dark.
just picked up.
Blaze burns eternal.
And now, what will we see them do with the Aegis here? Almost on the Yule Scepter. It's the Winter Wyvern.
There is comfort.
Go back again together. Are they avoiding? I think they weren't contested at Roche, and they didn't see any enemies on the map. So they knew smoke was coming, so I think they just all back together to this relatively safe point. But the problem is that, well, Firestar, they're doing the same thing. They're backing away. They're saying, we don't know where anyone is. This is scary. But they're going to fly out of smoke, and now they're going to go for it. Maybe we might actually see the Dire side do the same thing. I don't think they've got any smokes on them. They smoke to get into Roche Pit. Yeah, they're not going to smoke. They're just going to move out on the map. And HY going to be doing a little bit of farming here. Once again, there's no vision here for the Radiant side. He actually doesn't have a Remnant down. Everyone's grouped up here. Amy's gonna... Wow, not actually gonna get the latch there with the shackle, but Global Silence gonna come out. We're gonna lose the Winter Wyvern first off. Clar's in the middle, pops the BKB. Just man-moding with that flak doing so much damage. He's gonna finish off 77. But Dora's gonna go down as well. Amy, his nemesis in the Clockwork is already down, so will he be able to do some work? ABC in trouble. Shackle Shot comes through, latches HY to a tree, but it's not gonna be enough to save the Silencer. As Amy will just pick up the bounty rune and run away. HY, he's not done. He's going after Clar's now. But Mag's there with the Blink Taunt. Bloodright's going to land onto both of them, and that's going to spell the end of Clar's. Mag trying to get a return kill here on the Bloodseeker. He will get the chop right before he goes down to HY. And now Amy, the only one left alive for Firestar, getting chased by the two heroes left alive for KT. Shackle Shot comes out, won't latch to a tree this time. As Amy goes down, it's going to be a full 5-man wipe. Double kill going to HY. Show fight recap doesn't show us the beginning of the fight, but from what we can see here, about a 2,700 gold swing in favor of KT. And that's going to add on a medallion for YSH, so Solar Crest probably going to be the item pickup for him going forward.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower
should be a tier 2 tower here. There is both supports up for the Radiant side, but they're not going to be able to prevent the push here. They're going to be able to do a little bit of harass damage, maybe force someone from the Dire side to overcommit and punish them for it.
Radiant's middle tower
yeah, a mistake like that's not going to happen in a game with this skill level.
Tower is under attack.
So the tier 2 goes down, and now we had a game locked dead even. I think we're going to see a little bit of difference here as we bring up the gold graph and comes right down in favor of KT. Almost 3,000 gold separating these two teams. But still, we're 43 minutes into this game. That is a damn close one. If you take a look at this graph, the biggest lead Firestar has had was less than 2,000 gold. The biggest lead KT has had was just slightly over 3k. This has been a very close game all game long. XP, it's been up and down a little bit more, but we're dead even right now. This is a really close grand final. This has been great. Bring up our gold or our items once again. I keep accidentally calling it the gold graph. Silencer, gonna be a refresher for him. He's got double perseverance. Aghanim Scepter is gonna be getting worked on by Dora. Meg, what are you looking at for items? 1,600 gold right now. We haven't seen him add on anything since picking up that Aghanim, so he's saving for something. We'll see what it is. Could be buyback and then some. He's only at 67 surplus right now, so. Which one's got the double damage? He's just running on in. He's not afraid of anything right now. Clarks did pick up a Reaver. We didn't mention the pickup. We knew he was building it, but he did finish his MKB. So next item is going to be Satanic for him. haven't seen Amy pick up anything since the Daedalus. 1,800 gold now. Ooh, hook shot's going to be off the mark. Actually doesn't have the Aghanims finished yet, so it's going to be another 50 seconds before he's going to be able to throw another. But he's close. 750 away from being able to complete that. HY has finished the Scotty.
Every coin helps.
No one's got the S and Y, which is a recent pickup. We saw the Medallion and Guardian Greaves getting picked up. The Yule Scepter was finished by the Winter Wyvern. And Satanic was just finished. Not sure if you guys saw that pop up in the bottom right side of the screen. But yeah, Claire's just finishing that Satanic. As it looks like KT wants to fight here, but haven't found anyone just yet. There was potentially a kill there on Dora, but they actually, despite what we saw there, they actually didn't have vision of the Lich. It's a little bit, I don't know, I guess it just kind of throws you off a little bit watching with both teams fog, because you think, oh my goodness, like this is going to be a hook shot from the Clockwork. All he's going to do is just going to wait, because it was on cooldown when he was sitting there about 2 seconds and the Lich was heading up here. You expected flare, hook shot, battery assault, cogs, easy kill on the Lich, but they actually didn't have vision. The Lich walked here, placed the ward, walked back, and there was heroes like here, here, and here, and they actually, none of them ended up with vision on the Lich. So Dora, some scary stuff.
Regeneration.
We're gonna get a ward up here on the pillar. There's already a sentry from the Radiant side. We are. Ping's coming out from Firestarter for their tier 3s.
Dire's middle
For the tier 3 in the top. So it looks like they're going to say, we're not going to defend this tier 2. Step back, we'll defend the tier 3 and defend our racks when they try to push uphill. Typically you'd like to see the gyrocopter out farming and then TP back in. But it looks like he's already TP'd early. No TP on him. And Amy's going to be the one out doing that kind of role.
Is under attack.
And we're not going to see a further push. HY is going to TP down to the bottom. He just puts a remnant down and he can jump to it and come back to his team when he does that play, but he hasn't. He's just come up here and placed a remnant back, so he's just a little bit safe, as they had no intention of continually pushing there, and they're just going to back away and do a little bit of housekeeping on their lanes. The Shackle lands, Mag gets there with his haunt, and they tried to bring down HY, but they did like nothing to him. Both heroes will get out safely. Because I have a feeling KT may just steamroll down the bottom lane here and take another tier 2. And probably Firestarter not going to defend this one either.
And it's off.
Ooh, that's a huge pickup for them. Refresher getting picked up by the Salter.
Is under attack.
But yeah, there's going to be no defense here.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
So KT push uphill or go back for Roshan. Probably going to go back for Roshan here. Daedalus getting finished by the Ember Spirit. He's getting to be scary. And this is what I was talking about. When he goes up and defends like that, he just drops a remnant down and he can just immediately TP here, wipe out the creep wave, jump immediately back to his team. Looks like they're actually not going to go into Roche. Well, everyone on Firestarter definitely thinks Roche is a real possibility. They're going to smoke up. They realize the push isn't coming bottom. We need to move out. They're going to be doing Roche. And, well, KT, I guess they felt like that play was just way too predictable. They're going to step back. Brewing here. YSH walks right on into them, and here we go. Amy's going to blink forward. He's going to go for the shackle shot. It's actually not going to latch. 77 also hook shots on in. Forces Klars to pop the BKB, but Global Silence getting used. And will KT be able to last long enough to live out the silence? They've already lost both supports. They're going to lose their Bloodseeker as well. As Klars sitting there getting man-fighted by the Ember Spirit, who will once again jump away. 77 goes down, and HY, I was going to say, is the only one left alive on his team, but Owen bought back, and, well, we lose HY, as now Owen is the only one left alive, because he bought back, and he's going to try to run. There is one buyback available. It's going to be on the Ember, but it doesn't look like he's going to have to use it, and that was a great fight for Firestarter. Great fight for them. And now they'll probably be able to claim Maroche as well.
Arms for the dead.
I apologize quickly for the camera work to start that fight off. And I'm not sure if you heard the click. I was muting and unmuting my mic because all of a sudden I sneezed right before the fight. So it was not easy. It's not easy picking up the fight from that position. But Blood Right will be casting the Roche pit. Actually just hits Roche. Everyone else is outside of it. This will be a free Aegis for the Radiant side as they won that last fight. That was a really one-sided fight. Now Klars is going to have an Aegis. It's going to be even more difficult for KT. But it seemed like the engage, I mean 77 maybe, basically what happened, I'm going to have to zoom out here. 77 hook shot in. Amy blinked in. So we had two heroes kind of exchanging positions, right? And then Amy was like in the center, and then the Global Silence came out and everyone was just kind of stuck. So we lost the Undying, we lost the Winter Wyvern. With those two heroes down, I don't think Tombstone went down. I don't think the Undying was able to get anything off. There wasn't a Winter's Curse either. And there's a Winter's Curse, as it's going to trap Mag, and this is going to be an easy kill for them on the Axe. ABC force-staffs himself into the tree, tries to TP away, but 77 hook shots on in. There was even a Yule Scepter as well. Now with those two pickoffs, KT's going to look to potentially break the base here. There's no buyback available on the silencer. Axe can buy back though. To get Bird Shackle. We're going to have the call down go down. Blood Right as well. But they BKB out of the Blood Right, so they're not silenced. They're able to go. They're going to get a kill onto 77. But I think everyone else on the side of KT are going to be able to retreat. Well, maybe not. YSH goes off into the trees to try to TP away. But he's going to get caught. Everyone else able to get away safely. Owen was running and Ember waited till he got back to the old Tier 1 location. Or I guess where the Tier 1 used to be before it was destroyed a long time ago in this game, and then he just TP'd away, so no one else was even remotely close. It'd be interesting to see if Mag actually elects to use that cheese, or just holds on to it for after Klars uses the Aegis and just passes it to him. That will make for one incredibly tanky gyrocopter, if that's the case.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Tier 2 will go down. Still have one Tier 2 left in this game. We're 53 minutes in. It's the top Tier 2.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
For 10 seconds for Undying. HY just doing a little bit of harassing there with the Sleight of Fist. Hoping for a crit. Meanwhile in the back, 77 tries to cut off ABC, forces him into global silencing relatively early. But there comes that second one. There's a refresher, and that's going to be long enough for them to lock down HY and get the kill onto him. They've managed to toss the Winter Wyvern up in the air, but he lands and drops a Winter's Curse. Now Klars is in trouble. He does have the Aegis, so he'll be back up, and it's going to get used. Winter Wyvern's going to go down as well. HY bought back and joined in on the fun. Winter Wyvern will jump in and buy back as well, as HY got latched to the tree there, but was able to back away. Now 77. Will hook shot over to Klars and get back to his team. Klars getting forced out forward. 77 will trap him in cogs, but those are death cogs for his team. As 77 is going to go down. YSH I thought was going to go down as well, but the Glimmer Cape was there. Meanwhile, everyone's going to try to chase Owen up here. We're going to have a blink forward from Mag, and it's perfect. He had no vision to that. He blinked right on top of Owen's head, got the taunt off, but wasn't able to get the kill instead. It's going to cost him his life. As they hold. They don't lose racks. They don't lose a tier 3, they don't lose racks. It's going to cost them a little bit of buybacks there. 2 buybacks, the Ember and the Winter Wyvern.
Double damage.
Now, Firestarter, they'll all back up and do a little bit of, as I referred to earlier, housekeeping with the lanes. There's both the top and the bottom lane we're pushing. And they'd really like to get this observer word down, but they don't know it's there. And certainly it's not too valuable until a push starts happening, but Cheese was used by Mag there. Okay. Wow. We're going to have a Daedalus coming out for the Gyrocopter. It's KT. Trying to take over the Radiant Jungle once again. Oh my goodness. Up, down, up, down, up, down. This graph. And that just shows you how volatile endgame can be in Dota. So even all along. Like, yes, this is down and up, but when you normally look at a graph 56 minutes into a game in Dota, it can look a lot like this. The thing is these highs and lows, they're not at 2,000 and 3,000 gold. They're a lot higher. They're at like 10k, 8k, somewhere up around there, if not higher. 77, hook shots forward to start everything off. Amy in the BKB, huge Winter's Curse coming up from Tubo, as we're going to lose Amy to start everything off. Klars pops the BKBs in there, doing a lot of damage with the flak. We're going to have a buyback from the Wind Ranger. We're going to have the Chain Frost fly, but it's not going to bounce to anyone. It just hit HY, and then it was a dud. Clockwork jumped on in to try to help out his teammate, the Ember Spirit, but not able to do so. Both of them are going to go down. We're going to have a TP out from YSH as he was sitting in Glimmer, so they had no vision of him. Will they be able to catch the Winter Wyvern? The Shackle Shot will stun him briefly, but doesn't latch to anything, so he should be able to run away. He's going to have his blink up in 3 seconds, but one more auto attack. Oh, wow. The Shackle will land. He's going to have to Yules himself and then blink. Well, that works too, I guess. I wasn't really paying attention to the cooldown on Power Shot, but I thought it was pretty close to coming up there.
Tower is under attack.
Expected Amy to time that.
Dire's middle
Maybe
tower
the timing was
fallen.
just not there.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Well, we lose our
Dire's
first
middle
set of
barracks
racks.
has fallen.
Got a couple pickoffs there, and Firestarter, they just marched down mid, said, you know what? Later racks, we're going to take our advantage here. And we're not done. We know Ember Spirit's down for 60 seconds. He used his BKB, or he used his buyback last fight, still down for another 3 minutes. So we'll take another tier 3. And we'll take another set of racks. So we're going to get two sets of racks here. 45 seconds still on the Ember. Will they be greedy and go for a 3? They can't though. Tier 2's still up. A little back. It's a timer on Roche. It's getting close for us to knowing when he's going to spawn. Meanwhile, they drop back, and somehow these top lanes are pushing so strong for the Dire side. I'm guessing this is all Ember doing this, but Yule Scepter getting picked up by the Silencer, and all this is this is a way for him to, if they try to go on him, he uses himself, and he just buys time. So that if they want to lock him down so that he's not able to get a global silence off and then refresh and another global silence, they want to lock him down so he's not able to do so, they're going to have to wait. They're going to have to wait out the 2.5 seconds for the Yules. And I mean, if they're sitting there not using abilities because they're going to need them to lock down, how is that much different than a global silence, right? Well, guys, it has come to this time. 59 minutes into a game. Grand finals of a tournament. Rapier time. It is rapier time for the Ember Spirit. Oh boy. Well, we've seen Firestar blow this game open, wide open recently, so I guess he needs something big like a Divine Rapier. Gonna have an MKB on Owen. This is actually a huge power swing for them. They've got a lot of items just finishing here. We could very well see the next fight go completely the other way. This is good for Firestarter, because they're going to be pushing. So, question is, what's buyback status? That's not the buyback status button. I have no idea what it's set to right now. R? Really? I definitely didn't set it to that in Reborn, please. But either way, we're going to have to take a look at our buyback status, but we got to pause it. I'm actually going to use the pause myself as well, so I'll be back in just a minute here, guys. For a second there, you guys thought, uh-oh, is Niz AFK? Are we going to miss the big fight? The big fight with the Divine Rapier? No, you're not. I'm here. I was at my computer the whole time. They're going to back up. They're not going to fight at the tier 2. So HY has shown himself on the map, so let's assume that Radiant has seen the Divine Rapier. I'm assuming they have. Surprisingly, we only have buyback available to one hero right now. This is actually pretty big for them as well. HY's buyback is off cooldown. Doesn't have gold for it, but it's off cooldown.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Tier 2 is going to go down. No fight just yet. Oh boy. Double damage on Klars. This could be the moment. Nope, it's going to be a fight for Roche. The 4th Roche of the game. Player going to fly in. It's going to scout out Roche. It's also going to scout out everyone on the Radiant side. Of course, this Observer Ward's doing the same thing. There's actually an Observer Ward misplaced here. Oh boy, Klars is in the middle of the pit here. This could be bad. This could be real bad, but they get out. Mag. We might have a stalemate here where neither team wants to commit to Roche, but we saw just how quickly Roche went down. They didn't attack it for very long, and he's already at half HP. Of course, Roche has, well, some pretty ridiculous HP regen.
Illusion!
This is such a tense moment. Whose courier is this? Okay, this is a Radiant courier. It's actually really surprising that they use the tombstone down there. But are we going to have a fight here? Amy blinks forward and we'll get hit with the Winter's Curse. Dora's left attacking. And we're going to lose Amy to start everything off. This is huge. That was a huge pick off for them. And now YSH and Tubo are both low. YSH the Undying is going to go down. Meg in the middle of this cog right next to Klars. As Klars trying to right click down 77 here. He will get the kill there, but Meg went down in the meantime. Now Klars is on the run. He doesn't have any help from his teammates here as he's going to go down, and oh no. The Divine Rapier's doing work.
Oh, that's cool.
Dora's going to go down as well. The Divine Rapier was enough. Like I said, we could very easily see our next team fight go complete opposite way that we've seen the last couple, and well, the Divine Rapier turned it around. It was a little bit of a a questionable engage, I'd say, coming up from Firestarter. I don't like them engaging into this area, because if this is warded by the enemy team, you know you don't have a ward there, but you don't know if the enemy team has a ward there. If the enemy team does have a ward there,
Sean has fallen to the dust.
as the Aegis will go on to the Bloodseeker, and the cheese will get picked up by the Winter
Radiant's
Wyvern. But I'm just going to
middle tower is under
switch to the vision here. If the enemy has all the vision here, why would you want to fight in here? It's just awkward. It's a huge advantage to the enemy.
Are under attack.
So it's a little bit questionable that they took that fight. They did have a bunch of vision of where the other heroes were up here as they were making their way down there. And they also had the creep wave pushed up to, I believe, here. So they had vision up here as well. They just didn't have vision into the trees. And when the Winter Wyvern, or the Wind Ranger jumped in, the curse was on him and the Lich, and that gave him enough time to bring down the Wind Ranger. And the Wind Ranger is so important to this Radiant team. Like the Wind Ranger is kind of the secondary damage dealer that isn't the Gyrocopter. So it's the hero that says, you know what, you want to focus our Gyrocopter? Fine, our Wind Ranger is going to tear you apart. You want to focus our Wind Ranger? Fine, our Gyrocopter is going to tear you apart. But the Wind Ranger died before the Gyrocopter was able to tear anyone apart because of the positioning. Part of that was the blink forward from Amy. Part of that was the Observer Warden fighting into it. I thought it was one of those fights where you were never going to have a good initiation. All the teams were playing kind of around each other so well, and it was going to take one mistake, and we saw an offensive mistake rather than a defensive mistake. And, well, it didn't, I mean, has it changed the game? Certainly. Was it game ending? No, not at all. But we're going to have another fight here as Dora's going to get hit with the hook shot, and they're just going to cut their losses here.
To the black pool.
Well, this is a really scary moment. Oh my. Oh, now pings are coming out. They see him. Force staff from Meg. Hook shot will find ABC. This is huge. He does have another force staff from ABC. And he'll force staff himself out of the cog. If the silencer goes down, I think this is game. As silencer will go down. No buyback available for him. Now Meg's probably going to go down as well. This looks like it's going to be GG for KT. No global silence. No Lich. No Axe. Klars now sitting there. He's going to go down as well. He does have buyback available. Meanwhile, Amy's just going for the throne here. He's already taken
Radiant's middle tower
down most of the HP of the tier 4, but not going to win the base race as KT has plowed down both those tier 4s, and now they're going for the throne. It's just Klars and Amy left to defend. We had a buyback from Klars here as he drops the Winter Wyvern, but it's not going to be enough. The throne will go down. GG. Well played coming up from everyone, including myself, as KT.Tuji, or KaoQian.Tuji, will take it. SCS for this week. And what was a pretty entertaining game. An hour and 6 minutes, and it was pretty close the majority of the game. And it was looking like Radiant was going to have this. Firestarter was going to run away with it. And then the Divine Rapier picked up by the Ember Spirit, and they just weren't able to bring him down. The next fight after that, KT won it. The fight after that, well, we didn't even really see a full team fight because there was pickoffs. And there was that moment there where ABC was just sitting in the trees on the silencer. No TP, all the enemies around him, and he's just sitting there waiting. And then there was a moment where it's just like, okay, I think this is a good time to go. He goes, they spot him, they start chasing him down. 4 staffs from Meg, 4 staffs from ABC, trying to save him. They got him all the way back in their base, but it's not enough to keep the silencer alive. And with no buyback available, no global silences, it makes it very, very difficult for this Radiant side to fight. And wow. KT. They take it. That was a fun game to cast, guys. Like I said, I've been sick for a while, and I was a little worried about my voice, and I certainly feel it right now. But I'm glad it hung on for us for most of that game, and I was able to cast that game because that was a lot of fun. That was a very close game, and to see it end and how it did like kind of just flipped around in the last 10 minutes of that game and go back the other way. It's just really awesome to watch. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Once again, guys, I'm Niz. You're watching NizCast. Make sure you hit those follow buttons on twitch.tv, at NizCast on Twitter, and I upload all the VODs or everything I cast to YouTube at youtube.com/NizCast. So follow me on all those channels. Check them out if you haven't. Besides that, this was the Semi-Pro Cup Series. Go to semiprodota.com to find out more information about the tournament and sign up next Sunday to play, and maybe I'll cast your team as well. But that's going to do it for me. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next Sunday. Have a good night.